tulikuwa tunagoja swali za what's your favorite color, what's
I
the
know.
size of your shoe.
I'm waiting for that one as well.
Hey.
What made you know? What made you know that I was the one? The one.
Wow, that's such a deep question.
Very deep. Very, very deep.
Hi guys, my name is Ian Kanyi. Blessed to be the husband to a lovely woman right next to me. I believe she would introduce. Yes.
Hi everyone. My name is Martha Muria and I am the wife to Ian Kanyi. Yeah. And I'm happy to be here today. We've been married for 10 months and a week.
Yeah.
Do you want to start? You want to start? Okay, start.
Let me have that one. Hey. Okay. When you think about the first time we met, what's the one thing you remember? We had to start with a deep one. Oh. Okay, but this it's to you.
The first thing I remember.
Yeah.
I remember mentors. Because that was what started our conversation.
The first time we met, babe, it wasn't.
First time we met. Oh, I remember the color green. That's the first thing I remember because we were both like dressed in the same outfit, colors. Yeah. So, that's what I remember.
Yeah. For me, when we met, the first thing I remember about you was your smile and how you were so humble. So we met. I was interviewing her. So it was quite an interesting scenario to meet. It wasn't for a job for sure. It was for another club in our campus that I happened to be part of the interview panel, and she happened to be the interviewee of the day. And kumbe akuwa anajua na interview akuwa bibi.
And here we are.
But yeah, it's a joke. But yeah, it was a good one. So I remember her smile, and definitely color green stood out because we both had green, and I was like, God, this means go. I remember I told her that. So yeah.
It's my turn.
Your turn now.
What are your two best memories of us?
Oh, wow. Two best memories. The first one definitely has to be our wedding day. I remember when you're walking down the aisle with your mom and with your dad. It was the most surreal moment for sure. So for me, that was my best memory so far we've made. The second best memory has to be our first proper date. Pali nilikuitisha pesa ya kutop up. So interesting story. We went for a date. Boychal ni nani? Boychal akasema acha apime. Akatoa pesa kidogo. Kuuliza unaweza changia jokes, but I don't roll with the coins. So we needed coins to finish the bill.
You don't. I keep all the coins.
Till date, she keeps all the coins. So it was an amazing memory. That was our first proper date after a year of just being casual friends, and we went out not as boyfriend and girlfriend, but as just good friends.
It was actually a birthday treat.
Yeah, my date was a birthday.
It was a few days after my birthday.
Yeah. So thank you. Do you have any memories that stood
Yeah,
out for
it
you in
has
the
to be
years?
our wedding day. It has to be our wedding
It has
day.
to be.
I loved that day.
Yeah, it
It's
has
like
to be.
one of my best memories of us. And I think one of my other best memory is us dancing in Ololua.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine we just went with Masai Shukas
Yeah.
and we had a Bluetooth speaker and we
Yeah.
just started dancing after
Yeah.
having a picnic.
Oh,
We
wow, that was
danced like
beautiful.
for so long.
Yeah.
I
Then
love that.
there's a monkey that popped in our dance routine.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah,
fun.
it was
That was
fun.
memorable. There have been many in the
Yeah.
in
Yeah, there
the
are
few
many.
years of knowing each other. There have been many.
You want us to give more?
Okay. There have been
Yeah.
plenty.
Yeah, there are
so,
many. There are many.
and all of them are priceless.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing is we treasure the great memories and as well the not so great memories, because I believe that that's what love is. Love is walking through like amazing scent and vibes of the flower petal of a rose, then as well walking through the thorns. So the good
Together.
and together, all the memories we make, because life is about memories basically. So treasure memories, treasure them. Ten, 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 ten. Wow. Cha nisome kimoyomoyo alafu nikusome aje. But what's something you will have never done if you hadn't met me? Wow. Hey.
Okay. We'll repeat that question. I make sure I understand it first.
What's something you will have never done if you hadn't met me?
I think stepping out of my comfort zone. This is one guy who's really pushed me when I think I can't do something. He's really, really pushed me, and I can say I'm the best version of myself right now because of you. Stepping out in faith is also something that you've really taught me as an example. And you've been with me all through, like when I do those scary things that I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'll never make it through. But you've been there and you pushed me, and I don't think I would have done that if we hadn't met. I think God's timing is just perfect because you walked in right when I needed you.
Hey Joy, acha kukata vitunguu kwa nyuma tafadhali.
I'd like to know the same question for you. What is the one thing? I don't think I do that much for you, but anyway, you tell me.
Wow. Lots of things come to mind. The one thing that definitely stands out, stands apart or stands out, is I would have probably never been to at this point of life if we hadn't met, because she's been my therapy, and as well because when we met, especially our first year of dating was really challenging because I had so many struggles with mental health, depression. I think she was there during my first or rather during one of my horrific moments where I attempted committing suicide, and it was a low time, and she was there. And that's something that really stood out even before we started dating, how genuine of a friend you are and how much you cared. And probably I wouldn't have been here if we never met. So praise God for that.
Do praise God indeed.
Yeah.
What made you know? What made you know that I was the one? The one,
The one. That's an internal joke. Wow, that's a good question. And as well, first of all, probably it's right to say that for us, the one definitely is quote unquote, because we don't believe in the idea of the one. So, one thing that I will say is that stood out that made me know you are the person I would want to spend my life with, and I choose spending my life with, was definitely the shared values and how you were such a good listener to me. So yeah, man, you listened to my pain, my struggles, my stories. Anyone who knows me knows how sometimes I can just talk and talk. Yeah.
And I have to live with that every single day.
Yeah. Hopefully.
But I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. You do.
I do.
But yeah, she listened and she genuinely cared. That's something this beautiful woman really did, and I'm grateful for that. For me, that stood out because she was consistent. I was such a ghosting friend. Mnaskianga ghost, I was a ghost.
Ask me. I know.
Yani, because of many reasons. And as I've mentioned, I was really struggling with my mental health. So I used to disappear, and where I used to disappear to was mostly church. I used to attend a lot of church events, kashas. Yeah, I was really seeking peace and solace, and I'm gracious God really provided that. So I was a ghosting friend, and she was consistent to hit me up, to text me. Especially, you know how ladies are told that you shouldn't pursue a man. She didn't pursue per se, but she was very intentional with seeing the friendship grow, and she really cared for me as a friend. And that to me really sparked something in my heart and stood out. The consistency you showed, even in the moments I would go 2 months, 3 months without hitting you up, but still, I remember especially for my birthday. Yeah, that time all my birthdays nilikuwa hospitali. Imagine for like 3-4 consecutive years. Yani, I was on my birthday, I was always sick. So yeah, on my birthday in 2018, yeah, she just sent me such a long and beautiful audio note, and
It was 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's not even long.
It was long then, and yani that one really stuck in me kabisa, because I just kept remembering the words you're saying and the assurance and the comfort, and yeah, it was therapeutic kabisa to hear your voice, and her voice is beautiful, so as well as good medicine. So yeah.
You can go to the next question. You want me to answer the same question?
Sure.
Okay.
I'd love to know.
For sure, it's nothing you did or said.
Yeah.
But I agree with the part for shared values. Like, I had never had a friend who we have so much in common. And being someone who loves Christ, someone who wasn't tired of me talking about Christ every time, or sharing something new I'm learning through a Bible study I'm doing, and I just come to you and tell you all these things, and you were never bored. You never started avoiding me because of that. I have been avoided before, so I knew when someone was avoiding me because of that. But you shared in the joy, and you understood me in a way that I just didn't know how you did it. Yeah, but I think the friendship values, and we just shared the love for Christ. So I think that's what made me know I want to spend my life with you.
Amazing. Hey, tulikuwa tunagoja swali za what's your favorite color, what's
I
the
know.
size of your shoe.
I'm waiting for that one as well.
Hey. But yeah, they're all deep and amazing as well. So what's your biggest pet peeve about me? Way?
I'm trying to think. Do you have one in mind? You can go first.
It's your question, babe.
I don't know. Najua tumeishi sana hadi tumeishi
Ni
pamoja
nyingi
sana
sana,
hadi
si ati
I'm
hana.
trying to pick one and just like hapana, not that one.
Ni nyingi sana.
I don't know, please start.
Maybe how I make noise in the morning.
No,
you
no,
always
okay,
complain
wait.
about that.
He's such a morning person. Like,
Yeah.
have you ever seen someone who just wakes up and is so energetic? I'm those kind of people who need 2 hours before I talk to you. So that's something that I know for sure I have struggled with, but we manage. I manage by waking up earlier than him so that by the time he's waking up, I'm up and running. So yeah, I think that's one thing.
Yeah,
that's one thing I can think.
Yeah, I think
You're such a morning person.
Comes with being a creative bana. Unapata call time ya 6. Hey, lazima ufike shu. Yani
I need my 2 hours.
Yeah,
Let my mind wake up.
Yeah. So there's some things by the way, and I feel like that brings up the conversation of marriage and how marriage magnifies someone's character.
Oh yes, it does.
It doesn't change someone. So
does.
if you have a certain habit, a certain tendency, a certain flaw in you, it will only be magnified even more when you get married. So yeah,
I think I agree with that on 100%. Some things I've realized about myself after getting married. Things that I did not know exist inside of me, or things that habits I didn't know are maybe not so good, others that are so good. So yeah, they get magnified. That's why we call marriage a sanctification. So.
And this is marriage ile yenye covenantal. It's not discriminating, but you know how we have a culture of can we stay, and you want to live and stay with your person before you settle down. That breeds up an environment and room for deception, because there's a certain veil that committing to this person for a lifetime that comes off when you commit to this person, when you walk through that journey of preparing for marriage. For us who do premarital counseling, yani there's just it's yani kuna kitu fulani inafanyikanga inatoa tu hiyo, because in marriage you cannot pretend for long. You can't pretend for long, and your flaws will come out. No matter how much you will try to hide them, they'll come out and they'll expose you. Your own sin will expose you, and I think that's why in marriage grace is such an important thing, because you really have to learn to extend grace to other people. So for me, probably the biggest pet peeve about you is hey,
should I walk out of the room?
Toka kidogo niongeleshe wananchi. I address the nation. But yeah, wow. Hey, this is my mind filtering jokes. But yeah, the biggest pet peeve I think about you, babe, especially in the early easily vitu za early days in marriage, was definitely the aspect of how my wife ni very structured, which is an amazing thing about her. She does things structurally, but for me I'm say very spontaneous and so upenda random things. That was it was such a big struggle. So I don't know if that's a pet peeve, but I know that's something that really we struggle with. But the irony now is over time, you've become more random than I have. I've become the structured person. So yeah.
So our final question: what's something that you want me to never forget about our love?
Oh.
This is deep. This is one of your specialities.
Oh, the one thing I never want you. But yeah, what's the one thing? Can you repeat it? It sounds better with your voice.
Wow. What's something that you want me to never forget about our love?
Yeah, something I never want you to forget about our love is yeah, I think I would hope that you never forget. Wow, that's such a deep question.
Very deep. Very, very deep.
Where our love began. Yeah, I pray that the growth that God has allowed us to have will be an encouragement. Even on those difficult days, that the joy that we have seen and received from God in our union, the moments of vulnerability we have had. So yeah, fundamentally I would hope that you never forget where our love has come from, and the work that it continues to do in our hearts, because it's really been a sanctifying process. So yeah, that will be my hope. I don't know for you, what would you say?
One thing I'd never want you to forget is that we are here by God's grace. None of this is our own doing.
Yeah.
And we can't depend on our own strength even to sustain it, because God is the sustainer of what He gives. So I'd like you to remember that no matter what comes, no matter what goes, that God has us, and yeah, we trust in Him and we hope in Him, and also for the good and the bad memories and everything. We're in it together. We've always been in it together. That's something I want you to always remember.